This comes out of, this is the backing plate that will eventually go right in here, cover the rollers. This piece you need from the old equipment that you take apart. You have to reuse this from the old Zuma. You also have to reuse this shaft which goes on here. Anyway, so you take your brand new smelly Love Bum super cool 10-gram rollers and you lay the puppies in there. Pretty obvious. And there we go. And you take this magic mechanism and put it on there. It covers the rollers. Anyway, this is going to go in here. That's going to go on there. That's going to cover that. Excuse me, the new versus the old. This is about, I don't know, 10-15 thousandths of an inch thicker, and it has the raised lip. Therefore, it takes the place of this washer. This washer makes the whole assembly too thick, and the clutch stopper here won't do its job. It'll strip these teeth. So when you put the variator, the RRGS kit on, that you'll probably get from Smelly, my advice, I'm no master mechanic, do not use the washer because it's built right into this. It already has the lip. So no washer. So you would put this on here, make sure it grips, put this on here, and then hope we didn't lose the nut. Try and look at what side of that nut went down. You can see because it would be shiny. And put that on finger tight to hold the contraption together. Also, one other thing I didn't mention is these little pins, these dowel roll pins, are pretty important. They can fall out when you take it apart. There's 1, 2, time they hold everything and keep it in line. Alright, so the clutch, which was a few moments ago on here, what we got to do is take this nut off, take this apart, put the new spring in, and put the new clutch on. Okay, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this and get it on camera, but we're going to try. We'll push down, take the nut off. Now, of course, I loosened the nut with a wrench while it was still on the bike because I'm too lazy to go down a basement and put it in a vise. There you go. The nut's off. Take the old clutch out because we're not going to use this. Take the old spring out because we're not going to use this. The new spring that comes with the kit goes in. Then we're going to get the new clutch, put it right over. Alright, I got the new clutch on the old secondary sheath, the old pulley here. I put the spring in, pushed it down, tightened the nut. We're ready to go. Something that I noticed here. To get the belt back on. Obviously this is easy. You just loop it in. This wasn't so easy. The spring we put in holds these two closed. What I had to do is put my hands, oh, by the way, put my hands here and with my fingers grab this outer pulley and twist and pull. Once I got it all the way, it clicked open and stayed open. Then I was able to slide the pulley in deep into the sheave and deep into here, giving me plenty of slack. Then it was easy to take the bell with the pulley and drape the whole thing in. So see how deep that goes on there? When you first put this together, these two are clapped together tight, and this pulley could hardly get it, this belt could hardly get in there. You've got to pull it and click and it'll set. And then you can get in deep. It gives you plenty of slack. You could put the whole assembly on carefully, put the belt on, and cup this over. The stock belt, which is right here, looks to be just as good. But this is supposed to be the super duper one, so we'll put the high performance on. And this is pretty simple, just bolts right up. Now what I'll do is go back to the service manual and look at the illustrated parts breakdown and make sure that I have all the pieces in the right order. It's pretty simple, and then I'll torque this down. You could use an impact wrench, but I usually use an impact wrench to loosen and my own hands and a torque wrench to tighten. I don't know how many foot-pounds these go to. I'll check the service manual. If you don't have a torque wrench, tight. If you're worried, a drop of Loctite red, which will mean it's very difficult to get off, but at least it won't fall off. That big nut in there, I didn't have the right wrenches, so I used one of these. This is a butcher's tool. This is not a mechanic's tool, but I had sockets that were either too large or too small, not the right one, so I used that. And I torqued it down to my own guesstimate. Should be fine. Alright, what I need here is a strap wrench to put on here, which I have, but I have no idea where it is. So, this is an impact wrench, and this should never contact your motorcycle. It goes in the same category as one of these, or a big hammer. Since I don't have a strap wrench and it's late and I'm cranky, we're going to use an impact wrench. I have no idea how tight that is. That's why impact wrenches stink. And then we're going to do the same thing to this side. Snug it up. Start the bike. Let it run right here on the center stand. Make sure all of this functions with no binding. We're going to start it up. Hopefully it'll start. Since it hasn't been run in weeks, let's see what we get. I guess it works. If I don't die from carbon monoxide poisoning or freeze to death. No heat. The belts fit in there very nicely. Now, if it stops snowing and raining and being freezing cold, we'll take it for a ride.